As this is a process conference, let's see if I do this right, what's the process we're going to go through here today? So I'll tell you a little bit about Sanofi, what it is. I hope you've heard of it, but little details about the company, what we do. And I'm going to dive into where I work, which is in clinical research. So I got to tell you about clinical research very quickly. Hopefully I can do that in a minute or so and tell you about the challenges we have there and how we're trying to use BPM and Appian to help us in that area. And then specifically, what's our strategy? How are we going to bring the big change that I'll talk about? And what have we done so far? And then moving into what we've learned, a lot that we've learned there, a lot of it related to change, very, very good and good connection to what Robert talked about in the future. Okay, so Sanofi. So I think hopefully people know Sanofi is a very large, global, integrated pharmaceutical company, headquartered in Paris, France. It's about 110,000 employees. We work in about 100 different countries around the world, so we have a very massive global presence. And we work in a variety of therapeutic areas and therapies, oncology, cardiovascular. We also do a lot in vaccines through Sanofi Pasteur, which I'm sure folks have heard about, as well as working in generics and commercial, also animal health. Also, interestingly, we've recently purchased or acquired a biotech company that you may have heard of, Genzyme. And we've done that for the obvious reasons of getting into new markets and branching into new areas. But more importantly, we did that because we wanted to help change the mindset of Sanofi and the pharma industry in general to go from just delivering drugs and pushing pills, which of course we do that. We make a lot of money at that, somewhere around $33 billion in net sales last year, to really focusing on the patient. So you'll hear a lot about patient centricity today, and what I'm speaking about, and hopefully you'll see the connection to how BPM is helping us to be more patient-centric and deliver value to patients. As you can see there, our mission in R&D, we discover and we develop solutions as opposed to simply drugs or compounds to prevent, treat, and cure disease. And I think the key thing there is that we discover and develop, but we don't try to do it all by ourselves. And we try to look to a much different model these days of working in two big areas. One is translational medicine, and no technology talk would be complete about the mention of big data, so I'll talk about that in a moment. And we try to innovate and have open innovation by working with smaller companies that frankly can discover and do things quicker than us. So instead of competing with them, we want to work directly with them. So we've really reinvented the model we use to discover new therapies for patients. In the past, everything was in-house. I worked for Merck for nearly 14 years before joining Sanofi, and Merck was this powerhouse up until about 2004, 2005, when the whole Vioxx issue hit. And at Merck, we did everything internally, and we took huge pride in doing everything internally, and we were really good at it. We were really smart. We're the best in the world, and I certainly keep that Merck arrogance with me all my life. But things changed. Smaller companies came along, and were able just to do things quicker and faster than the big pharmas. So do we try to compete against them, or try to work with them? This is the concept of open innovation and partnering with these companies. You can see a list of them there: Institut Pasteur, the Michael J. Fox Foundation, et cetera, Regeneron. And we're also trying to take a very different paradigm in how we discover things, so-called translational medicine. It's a very big, fancy term. What it essentially means is integrating our processes and data end to end. So in the past, you would have very segmented parts of the pharma R&D world. One area would discover a drug, then they would hand it to another area that would develop it a little bit, then they would hand it to the area that I'm in now, clinical research, that would actually do the human trials. And what was wrong with that model is that there was a lot of data in different parts that each other could benefit from. So information we would get in human clinical studies could be very valuable to the discovering scientist to have that information, and vice versa. And this is the concept of translational medicine, to really focus on understanding the disease, what causes the disease, and treating and providing a solution for that underlying cause. So as you can see, there's a little simple process flow there on translational medicine. It's really about integrating the data and, of course, the processes that help that data to flow end to end. And this is really the the model that we're adopting, have adopted, and many other pharmas as well are adopting as well to innovate and provide value. Again, what are our drivers for success? The word value. So I think Robert spoke a lot about that. It fits very nicely with a slide here. We're looking to provide value to patients. We're not looking just to provide compounds. So we want to provide solutions to the underlying problems. We want to be as close to them as possible and understand them and provide values. We want to do that with the highest quality possible. There's still a huge emphasis on scientific quality, but no longer are we trying to do that all in-house. We work with other companies. We work with universities. We work with small biotechs. We work with individuals, and we embrace that to really have scientific excellence. And of course, we need to have our processes locked down. We need to be effective operationally. We need to execute very, very, very strongly to be quick, to provide value quickly, to be able to compete against that small one that wants to get up in the morning and kick you in the butt. So this is just as relevant for a massive pharmaceutical company like Sanofi.